Hello, I'm going to present now the Redlink Solr plugin. The plugin is directly integrated into Solr instances, and it combines the entity extraction functionality from Redlink and Solr Search. So for the preparation, you have to download a Solr instance. We currently use the 4.10.4 instance, but we are compatible with much more, going up from 4.6 to 5.3. So you have to create a lib directory because the Solr plugin from Redlink, it's an extension plugin, and you have to enable the plugin mechanism of Solr by enabling the commit .lib path in the Solr config XML. This is quite straightforward, and you do it for all the Solr plugins. Then copy the Redlink Solr plugin into your lib directory, and then you should have a look at the documentation of the plugin, which is here on the Redlink page. And you can see here also these installation instructions. You can have here how you have to configure the enhancer and how you have to configure the auto-completion mechanism, but I will show this later. So let's go back. Then you have to add some fields because you want to enrich text, and therefore you need some output fields in Solr. And then you have to configure also the processing chains. But first of all, we have to look at the schema XML. So the schema XML in Solr defines all the fields and the types of the fields. And for this example, we just use a very simple schema XML, which just includes a field for IT title, URL, description, and text. This is our input, and we want to analyze the description of the input, and we want to link it to SCO's concept that we manage on the Redlink side, and therefore we define for alternative labels from concepts that were found in the text. We define a field out label, and we define a field related for related concepts. Furthermore, we define a field for auto-completion, and we need to copy fields that we want to use in auto-completion in this field. In this demo, we want to use for auto-completion the alternative labels of the concepts and the title of the documents. And then these are simple Solr things. We just define a copy field for all or for title and description, and alternative label into a text field that is used for search later. And this is just a definition of a type we use here in the definition for whitespace lowercase tokenization. So now we have the fields where we want to put the results of the Redlink plugin in, but we have to define what exactly we want to extract from the text. Therefore, we go to the Solr config XML, and we define update request processor chain. In this case, we rename it Redlink, and we link it to the update request handler, like you do it with chains. So, and the chain itself has to be configured. We use the processor, and this is Redlink specific now. We use to enhance the processor factory, and with this processor factory, we can send texts on the update on the Solr update or via the Solr update. We can send it to the Redlink API. It's the text that's getting analyzed and linked to our vocabularies. In this case, we have a vocabulary from the energy sector, and then it's the result is sent back to the Solr plugin, and the Solr plugin then writes it into several fields. In this case, what we have to define, or what is very necessary, is the application key that we can use the Redlink API. The application key, then you can get the application key from the Redlink dashboard, which you can read on the Redlink developer site or via the Redlink developer site. Here you have a link to the dashboard. And yeah, you have to define the input. In this case, we want to enhance or enrich the description field. And the output, in this case, we want to have the alternative labels of all the concepts that are found in the text. And we want to use also the related concepts. And therefore, we have to define the field where we want to put the results, the type of the entity that is found in the text, and the parse of the label. In this case, we have a SCOS vocabulary, and we link the alternative label of the SCOS concept to this field alternative label. And in the second field, this is we want to put the related concepts in. And therefore, we say, okay, if a concept is found from of type concept, we do not want to put the concept directly, but we want to get all related concepts, and this is done via LD path. So we jump from the found concept to the related concept, and from the related concepts we get the preferred label, and this is put into the index then. So this is the configuration for the Solr enhancement plugin. The second thing we have in the Solr plugin, or in our Solr plugin, is a good auto-completion functionality, and this is configured here. So it's called Faceted Recommendation Handler, and for the recommendation handler you have to use a default field. What is used for recommendation, in this case autocomplete, what we defined in the schema XML, and which fields we want to use, in this case alternative label and title. Furthermore, we define here that we also want to have a spell checking. So now let's start with the demonstration. The Solr is already running, and what we want to do is to put two update documents to Solr, and here we can have a look at the update documents. Documents update XML, and here you can see the document has an ID, an URL, and title, and a description, and that's it. And this description we want to use for enhancement. So we want to look in this description text and search for concepts that appear here. Therefore, we already configured the plugin, and then now we just have to send the documents to Solr, to the update chain, just by using curl, and it's sent to Solr. And now you can see, okay, it's done. It takes some time because it was the first update request, and additionally it sends the text to the API and gets the results. So now we can search what actually is now in Solr, and therefore we just do a query, give me everything which is in Solr, and here you have the results, and we have two documents. We have the ID of the documents, the URL, the title, and additionally we have here fields for alternative labels that is filled by the Redlink plugin, and a field for related concepts that is also filled by the Redlink plugin. That means now you can search also for wood waste, even if it does not appear here, just because there is a concept within the text that has a related concept which is has the title wood waste. And so you can use controlled vocabularies to improve your searchability of your documents. Additionally, we have enabled the auto-completion functionality, and here you can see how the auto-completion works. So if you want to have here auto-completion for biome, so BIOM, you get auto-completion for alternative label in this case, and which is called solid biomass. And the auto-completion is also includes the spell checking component, so if you misspell something, it is also auto-completed. Here you can see we query for poser plan, and it auto-completes it to power plant, and it recommends me the alternative label heat and power plants. And this this facet recommendation you can use also to enhance the searchability of your documents. So that's the Solr plugin, and if you have any questions, just contact us. Bye.